Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy Tim, back with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about the truth that there will be no room in your casket for your regrets. So the day is coming for all of us when, our time on this earth, living this life will be up. And when that day comes, we will pass on to whatever. None of us really know what's out there. None of us know what's next, but we do know. We do have the data to know that their time will come. And if we're lucky, we'll get 85, 90 years, in this life. Some of us won't get that long, but if, we do know that the day will come when we'll be done here, when this life will be up. And when that day comes, there will be no room for us to take our regrets, the things we wish we had done, the things we wish we hadn't done. There will be no room for us to take those regrets with us in our casket. You're not going to be able to take all your regrets in your casket with you and then fulfill them in the next life or fulfill them in the afterlife. No, when they close that lid on that casket, it's just going to be you in there by yourself, and all your regrets are going to be set in stone. All the things that you really wish you'd done that didn't do is over. You're not going to be able to do them. All the things that you wish you hadn't done, they're set in stone. You're not going to be able to undo them. There's no room in your casket for regrets. All you have, the only time you have to fix regrets or to do certain things in life or to undo certain things is while you are still alive. And I think it's important to talk about this topic because most of us live lives like we're going to live forever. Like we all know from a very young age, as soon as we're able to ascertain like what death is, as soon as we see loss, we lose a pet or we lose a grandpa or we lose, someone close to us, and we start to understand, oh, this life doesn't last forever. The next thought that comes is, oh, one of these days I'm gonna be gone too. So from a very young age, we understand that we're not gonna be here forever. But for some reason, we still live our lives like we are. We know we're not going to be here forever. One day something's going to come along and it's going to, take this life away from me. It might be, like I said, 70 years in the future. It might be 70 days in the future. It might be 7 hours in the future. Somewhere the Grim Reaper is sitting and he's preparing a casket for each one of us. Now, the Grim Reaper is a patient man, but he's a punctual man. So, he may wait a while before he comes to get us, but he's coming for all of us and trusts he's going to be right on time. So until he shows up, we need to be living our lives to the fullest. We need to be doing the things we want to do with our life. Because you don't want any regrets when the Reaper shows up with that casket just big enough for you and whatever suit they bury you in. We need to be living our lives to the fullest, doing everything we want to do. I think it's interesting that humans are like one of the only species that we know of that is capable of like dreaming and goals and things like that. We can look and say, ooh, I would like to do this. Ooh, I want to be doing that. We can look into the future and envision different lives for ourselves or different things we want to be doing. Yet we're also like one of the only species that kind of really has this fear of failure. Other species, if there's something that it pops in their head to do, they just do it because they go mainly on instinct. But we go on thoughts, we go on desire, we go on emotion, we have all this other stuff. So while we're capable of coming up with these great, wonderful ideas and plans and goals and dreams, we also get hit with, the fear of failure and just doubt and all these other excuses and negative things almost on equal magnitude. And the problem with that is that the fear of failure and the self-doubt we have and this ideal of, oh, I'll do it in the future, when a lot of times we never get around to it, it keeps us from going after these goals and dreams. And these goals and dreams are what life is all about. We pass up doing the things we want to do, doing the things that would make us happy, doing the things that I personally believe are why we're here. We pass those things up to do mundane, normal stuff just because it seems safer. But the problem is when our life starts winding down, when we do get sick, when we do get old, when we do get certain responsibilities or things come up, and we realize we just don't have the option to do a lot of these things that we've been saying we wanted to do. Then the regret hits. And then a lot of times, once that regret hits, there's nothing we can do about it. And then that day comes, that final day when there's definitely nothing we can do about it. And I've always thought that like the saddest 5 minutes of your life are those last 5 minutes when you know you're dying, if you get that long to dwell on it, and you realize all the things that you wanted to do but never did for whatever reason. Like I always asked myself this question when I was planning for this video. I think it's important we ask ourselves this question a lot. If I didn't have a fear of failure, if I didn't have the concept of impossible, that's another one that's big for humans. We have all these huge dreams, but we also have the ideal of impossible. Oh, I would love to do that. Oh, that's impossible. Impossible is a word that shouldn't even be in the dictionary because it means nothing. Like everything's impossible until someone does it. Like impossible means nothing. It's just an abstract concept, but we have this ideal of, oh, I can't do that for whatever reason. If you did not have that fear of failure, if you didn't have the ideal of impossible, if you didn't have the doubts, if you didn't have the lack of confidence, what would you be doing right now? I ask myself that. If I didn't have these fears, didn't have different worries, what would I be doing with my life right now? And there were things that popped in my head. And I try to not let fears limit me. I'm always talking about it, but things popped in my head. I was like, you know what, Tim? We all are guilty of it. 99% of us probably would not be living the life we're living now if we didn't have the fear of failure. If we didn't think it was impossible. If we didn't doubt ourselves. The things that pop in your head when you ask yourself that question, those are the things you need to start going out and doing. What would I be doing right now if I didn't have if failure was not an option in my brain, if impossible was not an option, if I genuinely thought that I could do anything I put my mind to, which I think you can. If I genuinely thought I could do anything I put my mind to, what would I be doing right now? And I think most of us would be doing something different. But all of us, be it the programming, be it our own internal monologue, whatever it is, most of us are living lives that if we continue living them, there will be a lot of regret piled up at the end that we're not going to be able to do anything about. So I think we constantly need to evaluate ourselves, we need to evaluate our lives, and we need to try to live in a way where we have as few regrets as possible. There's so many things out there most of us want to be doing, but we just don't do. And it kind of like breaks my heart to see people who just, a lot of us fall in the middle of the spectrum. We're doing some of the things we want to do, maybe not some of the extreme things, but there are so many people out there who are on the other end and they're doing so little of the things they want to do in life. They're living these normal lives, getting up, going to work, doing what everyone else is doing. They're so afraid to go against the societal norms. They're so afraid to challenge themselves. They're so afraid that if they try something, they'll fail and everyone will laugh at them. And so they live these lives that aren't even living. They live these lives that are just existing. There are people who have pets that have better lives than them. There are people who have pets that have more exciting lives than they have. Because your pets, they do whatever they want to do. They don't care. They got no worries. They just do whatever they want. There are people whose dogs have more fun than they do. And this is crazy. This is crazy. All those hopes, those dreams, those goals, those things that all your life you said you've kind of wanted to do, all those things you can do. Or you can try. That's the thing too. Even if you do fail, at least you tried. You try, you fail, get up, fail again, fail better, whatever. Failure is not like this horrible thing that we need to run from. What we need to run from is inactivity. What we need to run from is having tons of regrets. What we need to run from is boring lives. Just going through life. That's what we need to run from. Failure is your friend. Failure shows you that if in order to fail, you have to be doing something. And when you're doing something, you're alive. So just, all of us need to just think about what we really want to do in our lives. What would you be doing different if you didn't have all these doubts, and then start going after those things? Because here's what happens. As you go after certain things, even if you start off small. I always say start off with small goals and build your way up. As you start going after certain goals and dreams and accomplishing them, you get more confidence. You lose the fear of failure. You start to realize things aren't impossible. You get more confidence. And then you go after a bigger dream and it just builds. But if you never start, you never go. One of my favorite quotes from the Tao Te Ching, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a couple steps. Your journey to the life you really want to live can start with something very small. A very small step, just something outside of your comfort zone, something that you're kind of afraid to do. Something very small, and that can lead you down the path to living a life that you can look back on. There are some people who die with a smile on their face. There are some people who die and are just so happy at all the things they've done. They may not really be ready to die, but they're like, I've done so much, I can go. I can go now. I've lived the life I wanted to live. I've done most of the things I wanted to do. I'm good. I'm ready for the next chapter. That's how I want to be, when they close that casket on me. I want there to be, maybe one or two small regrets from my past in there, nothing else. I want to have a smile on my face, be ready to move on to the next chapter because I did most of the stuff I wanted to do. And that is possible. You can have that life. I think so much of the narrative we get in life is telling us, no, you can't. You have to do this. You must conform. This has to be your life. And I think they give us that narrative because that makes us, one of the sheeple. They can control us. They know how we're going to act. They know how to extract our wealth from us if we behave in certain manners. So the message is going to come down to act a certain way. But you don't have to follow it. It's your life. So many of us don't have the concept in our minds or really believe that it's our life. It's your life. You can do whatever you want to do. So what if you screw up? Then that, gives you something to do, fixing it. Screw your life up. If you screw your life up trying to live your dreams, that's a good screw up. And then it'll be all part of the process as you fix your life. Don't be afraid to make mistakes or to screw up or to fail in the quest to live your dreams. Because guess what? In living a normal life, following the rules, you're going to screw up, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail. You're going to fail even if you're living the worst, boringest life ever, following all the rules, you're still going to fail. You're still going to screw up. So why not have those failures be on the path to your dreams? Why not have those failures, be on the path to living the life you want to live? All of us have things we want to do. All of us have places we'd rather be, or jobs we'd rather be working, or relationships we'd rather be in, or so many different things we have regrets over. All of us have them. And you know them. I know them for me. We all have, things, a life we want to be living, the person we want to be. And the longer we hold off going after these things, the more likely it's just going to end up a regret. Oh, I always wanted to do that, but never got around to it. That's a regret. Oh, I wish, I'd done that, but I didn't do it. I wish I'd done that, but I was scared to do it. It's going to end up regrets. And those regrets, once you're out of here, those regrets are set in stone. Nothing you can do about them. You don't want your last few moments on this earth to be sad and miserable as you think about all the things you wanted to do and could have done, but did not do. So just two things to keep in mind from this video. Like the title said, there's no room in your casket for regrets. And also on a pretty regular basis, daily if you have to, ask yourself, if I had no concept of impossible, if I had no fear of failure, what would I be doing right now? And then take whatever steps are necessary. Whatever steps, no matter how crazy they seem, no matter what other people tell you, take whatever steps are necessary to get to that life. Because then that's the only way you're alive. That's the only way you're really living. That's the only way you can look back at the end of your life and have a smile on your face and say, I lived my life. Talk to you later.